Chivalrous knights are often upheld as a pillar of the fantasy genre. They're described as paragons of all that is good and are often bound by oaths to protect their liege and enforce his will. The ideals of knighthood also apply to A Song of Ice and Fire, though oftentimes their shortcomings and unrealistic idealism are the focal point of both the story and the characters. That said, one organization stands out as a bastion of knighthood in the history of Westeros. Today, we'll be discussing the best the Kingsguard has to offer, as well as the history and present of this sacred brotherhood of knightly protectors. In the 10th year following the conquest of Aegon Targaryen, the Crown's wars with Dorne raged on. One day, while walking through King's Landing, King Aegon and Queen Visenya were set upon by assassins. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your historical point of view, both Targaryens survived this incident and emerged unharmed. But this event inspired a realization in Visenya. She had always been very warlike and militaristic, and in this moment she saw a need for an order of knights devoted solely to protecting the king and enforcing his justice. The vows for this order of knights were not something that she created on her own. They were inspired by those of the Night's Watch, who had stood as an ancient organization far predating the Targaryens. Visenya believed that these oaths were essential in assuring these knights had no priority other than the protection of their king. Knights of the Kingsguard hold no lands nor titles, and they're forbidden from having families. They serve for life, though this tradition was eventually broken in the main series, as so many were, by Cersei Lannister, when she dismissed one knight who we'll discuss later on account of old age. It's quite interesting that the Kingsguard vows are based on those of the Night's Watch. By the time of the main story, the Night's Watch is pretty much exclusively thought of as a punishment, reserved for the worst individuals that society has to offer. The Kingsguard, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. It's a massive honor, it's the highest office a knight could hold. These positions and their importance are mirror images in the story, as reflected by the colors of their cloaks being iconic and exact opposites. The Kingsguard are known for their white cloaks, while the Night's Watchmen must wear black. They are known as crows because of this, while Kingsguard are known as white cloaks. It's also worth noting that the Kingsguard have a leader known as the Lord Commander. This individual sits on the small council to advise the king and commands his 6 other brothers in arms. Many men, worthy and unworthy, have filled this position over its 300-year history, and the quality of the Kingsguard as a whole tends to reflect the quality of its Lord Commander. That title, Lord Commander, is another thing that the Kingsguard shares with the Night's Watch, as they're both led by a Lord Commander. Given that the 7 slots of the Kingsguard are fairly iconic, the rest of this video is going to be dedicated to discussing the 7 knights that I believe to be the best Kingsguard in history. We'll be forming this list as though we're forming a Kingsguard of our own, assembling 6 knights and 1 Lord Commander. These individuals will be judged on a number of factors: their skills, their feats and accomplishments, the history of their time in office, and more. Knights will be considered less favorably if their king met a violent end, and be looked on more favorably if they generally act with honor. This Kingsguard will be ascending in its overall quality as a knight, ending with the best and Lord Commander. So, I hope you all enjoy this ranking, and if you do, be sure to leave a like and let me know who your favorite Kingsguard knight is. And without further ado, let's get into our best Kingsguard ever. The lowest ranking member of our Kingsguard who squeaks onto this list via a technicality is Sandor Clegane. Sandor's the only man to ever not be a knight and serve on the Kingsguard, and he only served one king, Joffrey Baratheon. His tenure is fairly brief, but given the fact that he was able to keep Joffrey alive and unharmed, is very, very good, given that Joffrey made a lot of bad decisions that could have very easily gotten him killed. Most notably, Sandor protected Joffrey from the riot in King's Landing, and was able to rescue Sansa from the angry peasant mobs, protecting the king's bride-to-be. He did desert his king on the Blackwater, which is the reason he's very low on this list, but overall he is raised up because he did generally act with honor, he enforced the king's demands no matter what they were, and most importantly, his combat ability is unmatched by many, many individuals in the Seven Kingdoms, including several others I ranked higher than him on this list. So overall, Sandor Clegane is someone who, while he didn't have the best or longest tenure on the Kingsguard, he's a very skilled knight who we learn throughout the story is more honorable than he seems. Number 6 in this ranking, and the second person in our Kingsguard, is Sir Ryam Redwine. Ryam Redwine is a legendary fighter, and he served during the latter half of Jaehaerys I's rule. He was a Lord Commander during this time, and the main reason he's so low is the lack of specificity we have on what exactly it is he did. He did have the benefit of serving Jaehaerys, which means he served during the most peaceful time in the realm's history, and overall, because of this, he doesn't have very many accomplishments as compared to some of the other people that we'll get to higher up on this list. He is, however, considered a legendary figure. We hear throughout many of the books that he is considered by a number of different characters to be the best knight to ever live. Bran Stark in the first book dreams of becoming a Kingsguard like Ryam, and we later also hear that Robb and Jon would play as though they were Ryam Redwine and Aemon the Dragon Knight, John being Ryam and Rob being Aemon. Aemon might come up later in this list, but overall, given the fact that Ryam is so legendary, but overall we don't really know a ton of what he did, and he was also a famously bad hand of the king, that is most of what holds him back from being higher in this ranking of Kingsguard. Next up, we have Jaehaerys I's original Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, Sir Giles Morrigan. Giles Morrigan's main trait that I really admire is him being the king's man through and through. It was a very tumultuous time towards the beginning of Jaehaerys I's reign. The realm was transitioning from the tyrant Maegor into this new, more democratic almost age, and Giles served as a massive portion of the resource behind the throne that allows this transition to take place. Most notably, when Jaehaerys was having tons of audiences with peasants and lords alike, it was Giles who stood by his side and was able to protect the king in any time at all. Additionally, when Alysanne and Jaehaerys eloped, they flew off to Dragonstone to try to get married. He took the Kingsguard there in order to try to protect the king and the queen from the hand of the king. Lord Rogar Baratheon was the Hand King at that point, and he and the Queen Regent did not approve of the match, and they attempted to essentially end it and break it up. However, Giles and his sworn brothers defied the king's hand and took Jaehaerys' side, famously stating that they are the king's guard, not the hand's guard. We don't know much about Giles' later life, but overall, his ability to kind of restabilize the realm after the kind of madness that was Maegor is really admirable, especially given the fact that he beat Maegor's last member of the Kingsguard in single combat while they were being tried. Please do not get out the pitchforks and torches on this one, but in fourth place, squarely in the middle of the list, I have Sir Arthur Dane, and I can explain why this placement might be fairly outrageous to people. It's outrageous because Arthur Dane is the best sword in the living memory of Westeros. However, I don't think that he's very much going to be ranking above the three people I have above him, because he hasn't done all that much. We know that he rooted out the Kingswood Brotherhood, but other than that, we have zero accomplishments from this supposedly great knight. I don't doubt that he was a great fighter. I'm sure in terms of just pure fighters, he would be at the top of this list. But if I'm looking at the accomplishments and overall tasks that the Kingsguard have completed, I think that that has to be taken into consideration. Additionally, his manner of death is fairly ambiguous, and that is something that is potentially going to have an impact on this overall scoring because he could have died dishonorably, could have died honorably. We really don't know because we don't know what happened at the Tower of Joy, and hopefully we will if The Winds of Winter is ever published, which I personally think it will be. So overall, Arthur Dane, legendary wielder of the sword Dawn, but I do think there are three knights who served as leaders and as protectors of their kings better than Arthur Dane did. In third place on this list, we have Sir Barristan Selmy. The main reason that Barristan ranks above Arthur in this overall list is the fact that he's had a number of incredible accomplishments throughout his life, both as a knight and as a knight of the King's Guard. Firstly, he single-handedly ended the Fifth Blackfire Rebellion in the War of the Ninepenny Kings by killing Maelys the Monstrous, the last male Blackfire pretender. What's more, he has one of the most impressive accomplishments of any Kingsguard ever, which is the Defiance at Duskendale. For those who don't know, during this era, Aerys Targaryen was kidnapped by the Lord of Duskendale and held hostage, and probably would have been put to death if Tywin had had his way. However, Barristan breached the walls of Duskendale himself, climbing them, freeing Aerys from his cell, and carrying him out even with an arrow in his chest. This is an incredibly interesting accomplishment, and I think that Barristan really has done a great job for all of the kings and now queens that he's served, though his accomplishments in Marine are markedly less impressive, given that he accidentally did a coup against somebody who probably didn't deserve to have a coup done on them. But that doesn't diminish Barristan's overall massive legacy as one of the best Kingsguard to ever live. In second place, we have Sir Aemon the Dragon Knight. This is one of the most legendary figures in all of Westerosi history. He served four kings as a knight and as a Kingsguard, and was the cousin to two of them, the son of one of them, and the brother to the final one. He is a remarkable warrior, and he's admired by so many characters throughout the story, most notably Jon Snow, whose name might also be Aemon. Starting out with his early history as a knight, he took part in Daeron's conquests in Dorne. He essentially was able to save the king's life single-handedly as he threw himself in the path of a poisoned arrow meant for Daeron. I don't know how you jump in front of an arrow if it's already flying at somebody because it moves so fast, but he did it because he's just that good. He was sent back to King's Landing to recover, but eventually went back to Dorne in order to continue protecting his king. However, Daeron was killed under a peace banner by the Dornish, and three of the Kingsguard died defending him. Aemon did not die and was put in a cage by the Dornish above a pit of vipers. Aemon the Dragon Knight was rescued from this Dornish cage by the next king, Baelor the First Targaryen. Baelor the Blessed walked through these snakes and was bitten many, many times to unlock the door of Aemon's cage. Once the door was unlocked, Baelor passed out and went into a coma, so Aemon carried the king back out of the cage, out of the pit, and eventually carried him for miles and miles northward. Literally, carrying the king on your back is above and beyond the call of the Kingsguard, but Aemon did it happily. We don't know much about what he did during the reign of Viserys II, but we know that during the reign of Aegon the Fourth Targaryen, some problems arose between this knight of the Kingsguard and his brother, who was the king. There were a lot of issues regarding their sister, Nerys, who was Aegon's wife, and it was mostly due to Aegon's horrible treatment of her, and general horrible treatment of pretty much anybody. However, despite this, and despite the hatred that grew between these two brothers, Aemon still died defending his king, as any Kingsguard is intended to do. Two other brothers were aggrieved with Aegon, and Aemon was able to kill both of them, but then succumbed to his wounds from this event. I very much look forward to reading more about all of these figures in the next Fire and Blood book, should it ever be released. But overall, I think that the main reason that Aemon is at second on this list rather than first is the fact that we don't know much about him as a leader, and I think there is one individual in Kingsguard history who is a perfect leader and who would be the best possible Lord Commander for my ideal Kingsguard. Going through a bunch of quick dishonorable mentions, we have Kristen Cole, who started a civil war that got a ton of people killed. We have Aerys Oakhart, who ended up betraying his king and trying to support Marcella Baratheon just because he really liked Ariane Martell. We have Boros Blount, who was thought by Jaime to be very dishonorable and so out of shape as to not really be good as a Kingsguard at all. He's even relegated to Tommen's food taster in later parts of the books. And in Martin's early drafts, he actually writes that he intended for Boris Blount to die by a heart attack, and that to make Tommen paranoid that someone's going to poison him. And additionally, I have to dishonorably mention Mirren Trant, who is perhaps the most dishonorable person we know in the series. Before I get to the Lord Commander, I want to talk about one notable exception from this list, that being Jaime Lannister. I think Jaime Lannister is a great knight, a great fighter, and now is a better man than he was. But if we're looking at his time on the Kingsguard and what exactly he did in terms of the duties of this office, he was a terrible, terrible Kingsguard. He broke every vow of the Kingsguard. He killed a king, even though that was justified. He ended up breaking the not having any family rule. And now he's the Warden of the East, so he even broke the holding any land rule as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. I think he very much has the potential to make this list in the future of the series, but as it currently stands, he is not a very good Kingsguard. The Lord Commander of my ideal Kingsguard is the one and only Sir Duncan the Tall. Duncan the Tall is the main character of the Dunk and Egg novellas by George R. R. Martin, which I highly recommend you read because they're excellent. He is a hedge knight who is later ascended to the Kingsguard and later to the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard by King Aegon the Fifth Targaryen, who he travels around with in his childhood. Duncan the Tall is a very, very honorable man, and his list of accomplishments is quite wide and quite varied. He single handedly ended a rebellion by one Lord Lionel Baratheon, aka the Laughing Storm, by defeating him in a trial by combat. Additionally, he defeated many Blackfires in the field during the Third Blackfire Rebellion, and is sometimes credited for ending that entire conflict on his own, similar to how Barristan did. And in my mind, his most notable accomplishment is the preservation of the Targaryen dynasty at all, given the fact that there was this massive event prior to the main story called the Tragedy at Summerhall, where this ritual was undertaken by King Aegon V to awaken dragons from stone, and unfortunately, many Targaryens were killed in this incident. Duncan the Tall is the reason that Princess Raelle and her son Rhaegar survived, and is in doing so the reason the Targaryen dynasty survived at all. Given that fact, I think he pretty much is the best that any Kingsguard could possibly do in terms of his accomplishments. The main reason I selected Duncan the Tall as the Lord Commander of this Kingsguard is his temperament and his honor. We know from being inside Dunk's head as the point of view character of these novellas that he is truly a just and good man. Those are quite rare in Westeros, and I think it's excellent to be able to see the world through his eyes in these stories. And I think that he is pretty much the ideal that anyone could ask for in terms of being able to defend the king of Westeros. What's more, we know that he is someone who has some doubts about himself, and I think that is generally a good quality in terms of a knight, in that he's not so self assured as to get arrogant or anything similar. This has been my discussion of the Kingsguard. I thought it would be pretty fun to do another similar discussion of Office as to when I talked about Hand of the King, so I really would appreciate any support on this video. If you liked it, leave a like. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this and want more Song of Ice and Fire content in the future, be sure to subscribe to the channel as I do this stuff all the time. I really appreciate all of your support, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll have more videos coming in the near future, and I look forward to seeing you soon.